Hi everyone, today we're going to be making a floral lattice card. A while ago I made a poinsettia lattice card that was really popular and I thought I'd recreate it in a similar way using daisies. So I'm starting off with a Stix to Anything 6x6 square white card blank. I'm also going to mat and layer a layer of white cardstock onto the card blank. I've tinted the edges with a dark blue ink pad and I'm just going to attach the layer to the front. There we go. Next, what I've done is, because you know I like my lattice, I've die cut a shape using Labels 20 die. And I've got a new lattice die myself, and it's the Holtz Lattice die. So I've added lattice to the back of my die, and I've made the frame with the Labels 20 die. But then I'm going to extend that, and I'll show you what I mean. I've cut the frame out of a dark blue card, exactly the same as the white, in the shape and size. And then I've cut it in half. Now on the white frame that I've already made, I'm going to attach the dark blue frame, and this will extend the actual edge of our die just slightly so that we can see the blue from the side, like that. And you literally just marry up the line and leave a few millimetres, and it'll follow the shape around, but it just makes it look like a shadow. So I'm going to do the other side like exactly the same as I've just done that side. Add a little bit of glue to the back of the die, follow the edge round, and then carefully add the shadow, if I can get hold of it. So add it like that. Now normally you would give it a few minutes to dry, but we want to carry on with the demo, so I'm just going to hold that for a minute or two. The white card that I'm using is a 300-gram card for the die, and the lattice was roughly, I think it was about 210. There was a bit more flexibility for that. So I'm just going to put that to one side just for a moment. I've made some flowers already in a range of different designs. I've kept to the dark blue and the ink to match, and the daisies are all die cut and made by myself. I'll put details at the bottom in the description. And then the leaves are from the Peony filigree stamp from the Creative Expressions range. Again, I'll put everything at the bottom. So once you've left your frame to dry, the next step we're going to do is add it to our card. So I'm just going to add some glue on the back of it so that it will literally sit on our card like that. There we go. I'm not too worried about being neat and tidy with the glue because we're putting so many flowers on it. If there's any that spills out from over the edges, you won't see it because of the way the flowers are going to be sat. If for any reason where you've shadowed your die, if you've got a little tail at the top or anything sticking out, while it's still wet, just nudge it into shape like that, and then that way you'll get a neater edge. Okay, so mine's very wet at the moment, so it's still very slippy, so I've got time to be able to do that. Now next, I've stamped an image, a sentiment, sorry, And I've also got one piece of white card that I've inked around the edges, and I've got a piece of the blue card. Now I've put a little bit of tape on the back of each of them because I'm going to add my sentiment on an angle like that onto the white, and then the white in turn will go onto the blue like that, and they're at a jaunty angle. So I've got tape on the blue, and I'm going to pop that onto my frame first before I add anything else. So I'm going to put it roughly there, I think. So we've got our frame, we've got our sentiment on. Next we can start adding our flowers. I've got 3 daisies, and I'm going to add one at the side and a second at the side. I'm just going to press those down for a few seconds so they take hold. And then the third one, I'm going to balance it out at the opposite side of the frame. Oops, like that. Press it down just for a few seconds so it takes hold. Now, before I put any of the other flowers on this card, I'm just going to pop a couple of the leaves on underneath the daisies. And I've got 6 leaves that can be put on with the filigree stamp. I've also used some other leaves of a small punch and die that I have, and if I feel that when we get to the end we need a little bit more, we can add more. So that's the second one for the opposite side, and then we've just got another 2 to add for the daisies at the bottom near the sentiment. There we go. Now because this glue dries clear, it doesn't dry straight away. It gives you the time to be able to manipulate your flowers, just in case that you get them wrong or you want them to move slightly. Right, so that's our leaves. Next, what I've got is some little handmade daisy-like flowers. I've just got 3 of these. They've got a coloured centre, and I'm going to pop those just at the side of our daisy at the bottom. I'm going to try and keep it random rather than symmetrical, because you know me, I try to always do symmetrical and balance things out. So I'm trying to go for something a little bit different in this one. So next we've got some of the Peony flowers from the Creative Expressions die. I've stamped them with a matching filigree stamp, and then I've popped a tiny star flower in the centre and a pearl dot. Again, I'll put all the information at the bottom. And we're just going to add a few of these just to add a little bit more interest. There we go. And then I'm just going to add one at that side, and then I think one more at this side, and then if we add a couple at the top as well, like this. Patience to make the flowers is really needed, but I've got the patience of a saint, apparently. I just adore making the flowers. So I'll just add one more there, and I think that's virtually finished. Now, if you're not happy and you want more flowers, or you want to move anything, you've still got time to move it while your glue is setting. So if you want to manipulate anything into a different place, you've got time. But I'm happy with that one. I think that is really pretty, and it does do justice to the poinsettia lattice that we've made earlier. And I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'll see you again next time. Thank you.